Hello everybody, this is Ghetto Mozart. We're playing some Schedule 1 today. We're at the barn and we're testing out automation on the Schedule 1 beta. Now this beta will be released within the next week or two, but right now what we're testing are these loading bays. This is one of the huge updates. The handlers can now interact with these loading bays at the dock and the barn, which previously wasn't capable of. So what I've done is set up a fully automated processing station. It's going to be 8 mixing here at the barn. I'll do a full overview of the build and then we'll do a full build afterwards. So yeah, let's get right into it. We're going to need 4 chemists for this build and 6 handlers. Now when I was showing you, you might have noticed that the handlers had a few extra routes. That's for you guys if you want to expand upon this build. There's several routes extra on these handlers if you ever want them. So looking at the actual build, the right side runs separately and the left side runs separately. They're both like one processing station, so you can really turn one on and not run the other if you want to, or process different material on the right side and a different material on the left side. So how it works is this whole left side is going to be running from loading bay 1. Now to start setting this up, of course we got 6 handlers. Let's look at Ryan here. Now he's got several routes, but just to start setting this up, loading dock to mixing station. Alright, so what we're going to do is end up making deliveries. Like I said, this is an 8 mix. Order 40 of each of your mixes. We have 80 kook because we use it twice in this recipe. We place an order to loading dock 1 and place an order to loading dock 2. These will arrive in 6 hours. Now, how I have this set up. I have some labels to help us remember, but this is mixing station 1. This is our first mixing ingredient, the horse semen. And then 2 motor oil all the way down, 4, 5 to 8. Alright, and then this is the 8th one. It's going to our brick press, and from the brick press just to the safe up there. I like using safes as the final product resting spot, just to kind of separate it from the large storage racks. And on the left side here, we have it set up exactly the same. 1 is here, with 4 being on the last, and then over here 5 all the way down to 8. 8 is going to the brick press to the safe. Now, the interesting stuff is the handlers. But let's go ahead and do the full build now. Alright, our deliveries have arrived, both loading dock 1 and 2. I've cleared out the barn. I've lit it up with a ton of these antique wall lamps, or lights. And I've added 9 beds upstairs. I cannot wait for the locker update. We'll be able to save so much room. And then 1 here, and then 1 in the corner for me. So a total of 11 beds. You notice I got jukeboxes in each of the corners. I've been using the crap out of these. It makes building, and I don't know, I love the music it always plays. And if you sync them, and put 1 in each corner, it kind of travels well. Yeah, wherever you are in the building, you can hear the music. But let's get into this build. Here's the entire material list. It's pretty cheap, especially because we're using the version 1 mixers. So 4 storage racks right off the bat under this window. We'll take 4 of the mixing stations on this wall. Turn around and do it again in between these pillars. Brick press on the corner here. We'll go ahead and put the safe here. I added signs in my demonstration. We'll go ahead and put signs here too. And this music is too intense for this. That's a little better. Okay, 4 more signs on this side. And same exact thing on the left side here. 4 racks under the window. 4 mixing stations on the wall, 4 in between the pillars here. Brick press back here, and we'll add more signs, help us remember Now, like I said, this is super cheap setup, especially because we're using the version 1 mixers. This will not work with the version 2 mixers. Why? Because they're too fast right now. We have no way of sorting items. So what we're going to do is what you see here. We're going to use placeholders. So on the left side here, let's go ahead and label all these messages or these signs. I like to do all caps, it looks better, I think. Alright, number 2 is motor oil. Kook. Paracetamol. Number 5. Gasoline. Got kook again. Megabean. And then battery. Alright, so go to each one of your mixers and put one, just one, in the mixer tab. This is going to be what I call a spot holder, a placeholder. And what you're going to do, or what's going to happen, is this is going to leave plenty of time for the handlers to refill this. So these mixing stations use 10 at a time, 10 product will go in, but these tabs hold 20 at a time. So when these both have 20, the mixing station will use 10, bringing it to 10 each. Now the handlers will refill this to 20 again. If we ordered 40 of each product, I'll do this 4 times, but once this mixing station processes 40 units of product, it'll just be left with the singular spot holder right here. Pretty cool. We'll turn it on here soon. Now, you'll notice that I'm putting in way more kook. That's because we used kook twice. So instead of just one, we're going to want 20 in one of the mixing stations and 11 in the other mixing station. Now, only do this if you use one mixing ingredient twice in your recipe. For this example, kook. I'm going to guess that most of you use the $700 something recipe that uses kook twice. Yeah, that's one of the main reasons I set it up like this. So the same exact thing on the other side. Let me label these again because I will mess it up for sure. Alright, motor oil. Kook. I think I'm saying this right. Paracetamol. I'm not positive though. Gasoline. I know that's how you pronounce that one. Kook again. This is 6. 7 megabean and 8 battery. Alright. I didn't put the numbers before these. Okay, now let's go back through on this right side, put in the mixing placeholders. 20 kook in that one. It doesn't matter if you put 11 or 20 in that one. Paracetamol, gasoline, kook again. So 11 in this one will work just fine. Megabean, battery. Alright. Now, let's put the outputs on all these. Have your clipboard, hit E, threshold 10, destination, just on down the line. Do it for every single one. Threshold 10, destination, next one in line. Threshold 10 in this last one here, going to the brick press. Brick press is going to be going to the safe. Same exact thing on this side. Threshold 10. Alright. 5. And we'll get into the good stuff and assigning all these workers, stations, and routes. This big press again to the safe. All right. So we do have 6 handlers, but we have 8 stations. So the idea behind this is we're going to take each handler. I'll just show you right here. We're going to add some routes from unload dock 1. 2 of them will have 2 routes for each side. These 2 will have that. So that's 2, 4. We're having each one route go to a mixer. We'll go 5, 6, 7, and where's the last one? Christopher? Yep. 8. Alright. So we want this, who is this? Matthew. Matthew, we're going to have do the first one. We're also going to have him do the 8th one. So he's not bogged down in the front too. As you see, I like to stagger a lot of these. We'll leave him like that for now. We'll have this guy with 2 routes do the 2nd and the 7th. And then we'll just fill in the rest for this side. So he will do the 3rd. It's Kook. He'll do the 4th here. And then should have 2 more routes. 5th and 6th for the last handler on this side. 6, I want to make sure that's 6, yes. Alright. Okay, so the routes are directly set up. They're taking directly from the loading dock. So you can actually order deliveries, or you can make your own runs. If you just park your own Beeper van here, or whatever vehicle, as long as it's within this square, they'll start unloading from it. So you don't even have to make these type of deliveries. You can do your own hands-on deliveries, but these both work. This works, and if you park your own van there. So they're taken directly from the loading dock to the mixing station. Now, this first guy here, let's just use this for an example. Loading dock 1, this is going to mixing station 1. That's his first priority, which is the horse semen. So he's going to take all these horse semen, and then once we go through all 40 of these horse semens, it's just going to be left with one tab here, one horse semen, one singular horse semen in here as a placeholder, so that no other mixers can go in here. Only horse semen's allowed. All right, let's go ahead and set up the second side. Now again, one handler's going to have 2 routes for the right side. Or 2 handlers will have 2 routes from the right side. We're going to use loading bay 2. And we want to make sure that, yeah, we don't want them to have 4 routes. So 2, 2, loading dock 2. So all these guys with double loading dock 1 routes are only going to have 1 loading dock 2 routes. It's really the only thing I try to keep in mind here. 2. I think this is, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, perfect. So let's take this guy. We'll give him, now this is the right side from loading dock 2. We'll give him the 1st and the 8th. The other handler that has 2 routes on loading bay 2. Where are you at? There he is. We'll do 2nd and 7th. Okay, so that's 4 routes down. 3rd mixer. 4th. And how cool are these jukeboxes? There's so many new tunes on here. This is 5th. And where's our last guy? Right here? Yep, 6th. Okay. That is all set up. We've got 8 routes from loading bay 1 to the 8 mixers on the left side. We've got 8 routes from loading bay 2 to the 8 mixers on the right side. Now the only thing left to do, gotta assign our chemists real quick. Again, I'll stagger these. First chemists get all the odd ones. Oops. Crap. Hit the wrong button. So like I said, this one will get 1, 3, 5. I keep hitting the wrong button, gosh darn it. 5 and 7. And the other chemist on the right side here will get all the even ones. This is just so that, you know, one chemist isn't bogged down in the first 2 and everyone's waiting on the first 2. I can kind of work more side by side and it speeds up this process just a little bit. Okay. Left side here. 1, 3, 5, 7. Last chemist. Then all we gotta do is set up a few more routes and we are done with this build. We can turn it on. Okay. Now, let me get a few more signs. I like to label these 2. We'll use all 3. So final product I like to list right here in my safe. Final product. We'll just label this right here, right on the window, why not? Right in the middle. How about there? Unload. We'll put unload here too. But this is where we're going to be unloading our product. Now it's 2 vans worth on each side. That's pretty great. 1 kook left over. Let's go ahead and can't waste it, right? Alright, a few more routes and we're done. So several of these handlers only have 2 routes. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them have 3 routes. Okay, so let's take this guy. So just from this unload rack, we're going to give him 2 to this first mixer. Alright, now this is our unload rack again, 3rd one to the mixer, and 4th. Let's see, 2, 2, 3. Just trying to balance out all the routes so they have about even. So one person doesn't have like 2 routes and one has 5. Okay, that's it for that side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so this guy over here, you can have 1. Mixer 1. Who was it? This guy can have 2. 1 and 1. Alright, and I think this is our last thing to do. Let me double check all these. They should all have 4, I believe. I think I checked them all. Perfect. 4th one to mixer 1. Alright. Sweet. Well, this is this full build. We're done. Let's go ahead and sleep. Not bad. That took about 12 hours to do. In-game hours. We'll go ahead and pay them. And I don't have any product here. Alright, look away for a second. Okay, I got some product here. So we'll go ahead and test this out. This is just my test world. If you guys saw, I used the command there. Okay. Alright, let's pay them all. feed paying. It'd be cool eventually if we get like a manager worker. We can just pay the one manager and they pay all of your workers. That'd be awesome. Alright, as you hear all the footsteps out in the barn. They are getting to work. Alright, they're filling all these things up. You'll see this is, he filled the horse semen first because that was his first priority, and someone then filled the meth. Now, the chemist should come and start this, and if you watch, he'll only use 10. See how this side's doing. So this side, since we set it up secondly, all of these, I don't want to slow these guys down, but all these routes are second priority on the right side. So if you set up the right side first, they're gonna, you know, each route is an order of priority. So you're gonna go to this one first, then this one. You know, but this looks like it's going really well. You always want the priority to be the mixer to be filled first. That's why the last routes were the unload. You know, it's not as important. You see they haven't even filled this first mixer because they're busy filling up all the mixer products. And there we go. He just filled that. Chemist is coming. This one's mixing. You see there's only 10. He's going to refill that to 11. And that 1 is the placeholder. Now, real quick too, let's look in the van. You'll see how this is kind of, quote unquote, transferred. This extra 1 as the placeholder is, like I said, yeah, kind of transferred into this van. It's not really transferred. They're only taking, you know, 19 and then leaving it with 1. But what's going to happen is this extra 1 will just be put right back into the mixer, just like you saw. Now I have to discover all these because, again, this is my test world. So don't forget about that. If you haven't discovered them, it will stop the whole process. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this build. I thought it turned out really nice. Just keep making deliveries and this thing will keep running. If you did like this build, let me know in the comments, and let me know what your best mixes are and what you used your barn for. Thank you for watching and have a great day.